Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's training session on US conversational recording. And my name is Essen, and I'm the project manager at Data Nomad, the company that's running the project. So in this meeting, what we're going to cover is, first of all, I'm going to give you guys a little bit introduction on the company, who we are and what we do, and how long have we been in this field and working with freelancers and everything. So I'll give you a brief description on that, and then we'll move on to our project intro, basically what this project is all about and how you're going to work on it. All right, so let me start off with sharing my screen. So all right, guys, so basically, Data Nomad is a company that has been specializing in data collection projects for over 1 or 2 years now. So what we do is basically projects related to transcription, image collection, video collection, editing, and stuff like that. So what we do with this data is basically we provide this data to our clients who use it in artificial intelligent machines, because this data is basically the feed for the AI machines. They learn from these patterns, the text data and the audio data and the video data that we provide the machine. The machine learns to interpret the speaker or the commands that we do. So you can get the very basic idea of the AI machines as Siri on Apple and Google Assist on Android. So you guys may have known that when these applications started out, there were just only, those are very less accurate. You used to speak something and the machine interprets it differently, but now the machines are trained, and basically all of this data that we're collecting, that data is responsible for training those machines to be more accurate. All right, so let me just show you our workspace, basically where we manage most of our projects, where our participants moves, because your team manager, Taram Nayab, basically she's been working with us for more than a year now, and she has worked on a lot of projects. She knows all of these platforms and how things go. So if you guys have any queries later on or anything like that, feel free to ask your manager. You're always going to contact her, and she will guide you. If she finds something that needs our explanation, we'll be more than welcome to explain it to you guys. So basically, guys, this is our official chat platform. All of the company employees who get approved on a project are basically moved here. We keep the chat history and everything posted over here. So we've got a record of every project that we do. So based on languages, we've covered a lot of countries. Like we've got people working with us from Turkey, from Bangladesh, from India, from Saudi Arabia, UAE, and a lot of countries based on their languages. We've managed to we've managed to reach even the most remote areas like Zulu in South Africa for a recording project. Basically, Zulu is a language specified to a very small area in South Africa. So we got a project for that, and we got employees working on that as well. So basically, this is all we do. Even here, you can see this BD Chinese English. This is a transcription project, which is for our Pakistani members, and people from Philippines and other countries are also participating in this project, because this is a complete 1-year project. What we do is, our basic idea is to provide opportunities to freelancers to work from home and make some good earnings for themselves. So those freelancers include people from different age groups. We've got people from high school. We've got people who are still studying in universities, who are undergraduates like most of you. And we've even got people who have already worked in a lot of companies, and due to COVID-19, they lost their jobs, and now they're working with us. So this is basically who we are. We work on very large scale employees. Like for example, over here, you can see there are already 47 users working on this project. If we go on to some our old project, which we have already completed, you can see that 283 members participated in this project, and this has now been completed about 1 or 2 months ago, I guess. So even you can see your team manager also has participated in this project as well. So now let's move on to, before moving on to the project, if you want more information on the company, you can always head over to our website, which is datanomad.com. And you can also check out our YouTube channel named as Data Nomad. I will share these links on the group as well, so you guys can have a quick go over the stuff and see what's going on. So now let's move on to our US conversational recording project. So what this project is basically about, basically this project is designed for Native American speakers. But given that Pakistani people, a lot of people have very good accents who can maintain American accents throughout a conversation, who are very used to speaking English, and they've got very fluent accents. So those people can also work. And this is not only confined to the Pakistani people. We have a lot of people working on this project from different companies. We've got around, let me just show you guys. All right, so we've got people working from, I guess this one's from USA, and we've got teams coming in for this project, same as you guys. So what we're gonna need you guys to do is, first of all, you need to submit your 30 to 40 seconds introductory audio in which you guys are gonna tell us a bit about yourself in English so we can check that how fluent you are, because we could give you a script or some lines to read out, but that is basically something anyone can practice and make up an accent. But when they move to the main task, they lose their accent and they start speaking really plain English, and they get caught when the company checks those tasks. So in your introduction, you should be precise, you should be accurate, and you should be fluent. And so far, the 3-4 samples that have already been submitted, those are good, very good ones. Also, two of them were really good. We haven't received the confirmation for those samples yet, but up till my knowledge, those will be accepted and those guys will be forwarded to work as soon as we get the approval for their samples. 1 or 2 recordings had a slight issue. The speaking was very fluent and very perfect, to be honest, but there was an issue which we name as the PKCTQ issue. Now, what is this issue? This issue is basically these words, this P, T, C, K, and Q. We as Pakistanis, we pronounce these words very strictly. Like we just cleanly pronounce T and Q and P. Whereas American people, they pronounce it with a sound of H at the end, like talk, quit, caught, and tape, like this. So you guys have to be careful while recording your samples that you follow this PKCDQ issue so your samples don't get rejected. And same way, when you move on to the main task, you're going to use the use the same accent and keep it going till the end of your task. Now, your task is a total duration of 90 minutes. All right, but this is not one go 90-minute task. You're not supposed to just sit and continuously make a single recording of 90 minutes. You can divide it in 3 parts or 4 parts or 5 parts, depending on how much time you spend on each topic. The minimum length of one topic is 5 minutes. That it means that you have to speak at least 5 minutes on a single topic, and the maximum length for a single topic is 30 minutes. So that means that if you're speaking for 30 minutes, you need to cover your 90 minutes with 3 topics. So let me just open up the guidelines document with you guys. All right, so the step for the project, because I shared the training video in the group yesterday, but a lot of people were getting very confused over that video, that what is going on over there. So for that reason, let me just explain the steps and procedures and everything to you guys very precisely, so you can get the idea that once your samples get approved, what you're going to do next. Basically, this task is designed to be done in pairs. That means two people are going to be doing conversations. What conversations are they going to do are going to be over these topics. You've got tourism, film, health, video games, pet education, sports events, and all of these. These are basically some daily life topics that people can sit and talk about and share their experiences or their preferences. Guys, just give me one slight second. I'll be right back. All right, so these are basically the topics on which two people can always sit and do some conversation, natural conversations, not something very techy or not something very complicated. Just like, for example, if me and Adil Khan, we're sitting and we choose the topic like video game, which basically I did when I recorded the sample task for this project. And based on my experience, this is a very interesting job to do. Rather than transcription and all of the projects that we're running, this is one of the most interesting projects right now. So if we were to talk about video games, how we will start? We will sit on a Zoom call so that we don't have to sit physically in front of each other to discuss the topic and make the conversation. The ease is that we can do this over a Zoom call. And for if somebody is getting a question that Zoom call is limited to 40 minutes, then when Zoom call has two participants, the call is not limited. You can carry on that call for even longer than 40 minutes. Even if it is limited to 40 minutes, you just have to record around 30 minutes or 20 minutes or around somewhere around that amount of time. So 40 minutes would be enough to record that conversation. So how you're going to do that is when you sit on a Zoom call, spend the first 5 to 10 minutes to discuss your topic. Like when I did this topic for the sample, I sat on the Zoom call with my partner. We discussed that how we're going to talk about this topic. So basically, we designed a rough sketch of our conversation. So first of all, I start off with my introduction as, hello, I'm the speaker one, and today we're going to be talking a little bit about the video games. And then the second speaker comes in and they say that, hello, I'm the speaker two, and we're going to talk about video games a little bit today, and we're going to share our experience related to some games that we like. So then I start my conversation. First of all, I talk about my most favorite game of all time. I share my experience with my partner. I tell him how I used to play this game, how much time I've spent playing this game, what kind of things or what kind of, you can say, what are basically the points that made me play that game for so long. So after that, the partner comes in and they share their experience about their favorite game. And then we move on to the most popular games that are running in the industry right now. And then we move on to the gaming merchandises like the some of you may know Call of Duty or Warcraft, Dota. These two games basically are dominating the market right now, more than even PUBG and more than even Fortnite and other games that people are playing on the phone. So those are very huge games. They have big tournaments and things like that. So if you start discussing points like these on the topics that you are interested in, making a 30-minute recording for a topic is not a very big of a task, or not something that you have to think a lot to speak on it. All right, so how you're going to record, basically what will be your submission to us is basically your single recording. You're going to be connected on Zoom call on laptop with your partner. You're going to be wearing headphones, so your partner's speech doesn't get recorded in your conversation or your recording. So you're going to download the apps on your phone. For Android, you're going to use RecForge 2, and for Apple, if you're using an iPhone, then you're going to use this awesome voice recorder. Uh, don't download from these links, because basically there was an issue with this link. This is the link to the pro app, and that is paid. It's not free. So just head over to the App Store and type in Awesome Voice Recorder, and you'll find the free app. Same goes for this one, RecForge. You can just simply search on the Play Store and you'll find the app and you can download it. So so when you're talking over the Zoom call, you should be wearing headphones. Apart from that, every speaker is going to put their phone on recording on these apps. All right. So how your conversations are going to be recorded, that for the time being, I'm speaker one and I'm speaking, the speaker two is going to be silent. And in their recording, that time is going to, that part is going to be complete silence. There shouldn't be any speech or anything like that. When the speaker two starts speaking, I will stay quiet and my recording will have the part where uh, the audio wave is completely silent. There is no speech in that. Later on, when these two recordings go to the company, they're going to combine it in the data set they require. So that is not our headache, that how these recordings are going to be combined. What we need to make sure is that there is not a lot of overlapping happening in the recording. Like, for example, when two people are talking, it's very natural that when two people are talking, one says something, somebody's explaining something, and the other person is confirming or giving affirmations on that, like, yeah, you're right. Okay, yeah, that thing is right. That happened. So we have to avoid those a lot. And for the stammering or the filler words like oh yeah, so these kind of things, the company knows, we know that these are always going to be there, because in a natural conversation you cannot completely exclude these parts, but we have to minimize that as much as we can. There shouldn't be a part where speaker two is speaking and speaker one starts speaking right in the middle. Speaker one says something, speaks out some lines, or speaks for 20 seconds or 30 seconds, then they stop, and then speaker two starts speaking. So this is how your recording is going to go. There shouldn't be any formalities included in the conversation. This should be totally natural and totally daily life conversation. You're not required to use very complicated and very technical terminologies or something like that. You just have to be two people sitting and talking on some topic. So that's pretty much it for the whole project. Now, once your samples get approved, you will get this guidelines document as well. It has all the settings for the app, that your audio settings should be like this. Your file format should be WAV. Encode quality should be high. Sample rate with this and everything, along with the screenshots for every step, explain that how you're going to use the app and how you're going to record and how you're going to eventually submit your recordings back to us, which is like this. You just upload your recordings from your app to your Google Drive. You make a folder for yourself. If you're a speaker one, then name the folder as speaker one. And once you've uploaded your recording, just simply share the link on this email with this text, your full name, your topic, your partner's name, and your audio length combined. So this is how you're going to be submitting the task. So guys, this is basically pretty much it. We won't go into too much of details because there aren't any required for this project. This is a very simple and interesting work. But so far, if any of you have any of the questions that you would like to ask, feel very free to ask anything you want and we will help you out. Can you explain the last point again? Saira Nawaz, which point are you specifically talking about? All right. So recording, basically, what we need is, we don't need your conversation on the Zoom. You will be doing that recording and you can submit that as well. We may need it in case, just to see if there are any quality issues or anything that you need to improve in your further recordings. So uh, for that, you will provide the Zoom recording as well, but ultimately your task submission is separate to recordings. Speaker one's recording separate, speaker two's recording separate. These will have silent parts when the other speaker is speaking, and that is completely fine. So your total duration will be 90 minutes divided into 3 or 4 or 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9, even 9 recording, depending on how many topics you choose and depending on how much time you talk on a single topic. The length for each topic, as I've already mentioned, is 5 to 30 minutes, minimum of 5 minutes and maximum of 30 minutes. You have to keep your recording for every topic within this limit. And once you're done, you just head over. Let me show you the exact step how you're going to access your recordings. So once you've uh, pressed this button, it starts recording, and when you want to stop, you just stop it right with this button. And when they are done, you can find your recording in this default folder. You go into that, and you will see your recordings something like this. All right. So how you upload it, you just tap on this option, select these files, and then upload. You will find the option for Google Drive if you have the app downloaded on your phone. And then you, you will see your files uploaded on your drive like this. Then you just have to add them into a folder. Like, for example, I added them here in sample recording US folder. And you share the link on this email, this DT Data Nomad email. All right. And in that mail, you have to type along your name, your topic, your partner's name, and your audio length combined. So this is how you're going to be submitting the tasks. Now, another important thing, basically why everyone does this work is to get paid. So the payments will be made in cycles of 15 days. All right. So it doesn't mean that you start recording today and right after 15 days you receive your payments. The payments are based on quality acceptance. The company is going to check these recordings. And so for that, to maximize the probability of your work getting accepted, how we're going to divide the task is that, first of all, every pair that gets approved, they do a 10-minute recording on a topic. They send it to us, we check it. If we find that it's good enough, or if there are some improvements that need, we guide you and we tell you to complete your remaining 80 minutes. So that is how we're going to ensure that maximum of our work gets accepted. Guys, the only standard is the American accent. If you lose your accent in the middle of the task and the company finds it, your task getting rejected is not a very big concern, but the project can get closed even if they get one recording that is a non-native speaker speaking, because that is basically something they will never accept. Yes, Shanze Sakib.
Okay, so one thing I wanted to know is that the Zoom session that we're gonna have, it's gonna be if we're doing it on our laptops, then what? How do we record the conversation?
Well, you see this Zoom panel on the bottom where you see this microphone option, start video and everything. There are
Yeah,
three dots on the side, or even when you're starting without the screen share, you
yeah.
see a round icon for record. You tap on it
Yeah,
and you can
yeah.
select record on your computer. So you will
Uh-huh.
get the recording saved on your drive.
Yeah, nothing else needed, no further like steps or application to record the conversation.
Yes, you do need the separate apps for the recordings, which are basically these for which these screenshots are shared. This
Okay,
is
okay.
basically your task, all right? Your task
Yeah.
will have only your speech, not your partner's speech. The
Uh-huh.
reason for a Zoom call is that you guys don't sit in front of each other physically and you can still carry on your conversation. Because if I have to record a conversation, I should have the person present, either online, on a call, or something like that. So we talk accordingly. Our conversations match.
Okay, so one more thing I need to ask is that you're talking about that if we are talking on some topic, it has to be like 30 minutes, 5 minutes, or something like that. So if it's going to be a conversation, so 30 minutes for each speaker or like on the whole?
Combined.
Combined. Okay, got it. Thanks.
Let me just give you a short explanation on how it works. For example, you and I, we both are doing a conversation. We start the recording button on our phones at the same instance. We carry on for 30 minutes, we keep talking, and we have to participate equally. It shouldn't be like only I'm talking and you're just like, yeah, right, okay. And it shouldn't be like you're the only one talking and I'm only like doing right, okay, yeah. So we both have to be participating equally in the conversation. We can ask each other questions, we can give explanations, we can discuss things, we can share our experiences or anything we want to talk about on that specific topic. One thing which you need to strictly follow is that you guys should not be giving out information in the recordings which may lead to believe that you guys are not American. All right. So you can, even if you're, let's say, take an example for tourism or traveling or something. I can say that being an American, I have visited Pakistan. I have visited Swat. I have visited Gilgit and places in Pakistan which are very beautiful and worthy of going to. So I can always speak out those names and everything, but I shouldn't be confined so much on those places that it makes the listener believe that this person is basically from Pakistan. This is not a Native American, because this project is designed for Native Americans. All right, so this is what you need to be careful. Do not speak out your original names or your birthplaces or anything like that. Just keep your conversation regular based on your topic, not based on yourselves. All right, so guys, anything else that you would like to ask? All right, so before we end this meeting, let's mark down our points, which we have covered so far in this meeting, which are first, company intro. Then we have the project introduction. Then we had a Q and A session. Uh, Still, guys, if there is anything confusing or any question that comes to your mind, feel very free to ask, because we're always here to help you. Your team managers are always there to help you. If you need something, if you don't find your answers from your team managers, you can always come to us. That is the reason why we're joined with you on your groups. All right. So every query is going to be entertained by your team manager, and your payments, basically the most major concern, is also going to be transferred to you through your team manager. They're not going to be paying you from their side. We're going to pay your team managers, and then they're going to make the transfers to all of you. Okay, so we had a question and answer. Now, what you need to do right now is basically submit your ASAP. So as soon as we get the feedback, the recordings, once your pairs are ready, you're going to make a 10-minute recording, and you should select the topic from that very same list. I'll share the guidelines document as well right after this meeting. And we will also provide you the recording for this session. So in case if somebody needs to go over something again, you can always watch this training session again, so you can find your answer if it has already been answered. Other than that, if you have any query, feel very free to post on your groups, and we'll help you out. Okay, so okay, guys, so basically this is what you guys have to do right now. First of all, send your samples so we can check it. As once they get approved, we tell the people that, okay, your samples are approved, and then we start making pairs for you all. When we do that, we will move you to Telegram, because basically uh, better than WhatsApp, this app has as point of management, we find this app very feasible for this project. So we're going to move you all to that. So this is the way your pairs are going to be made. These groups are all for the pairs who are approved and who are already started working. So this is how you guys will have separate groups for yourself, for your pairs. Why we are managing so many groups for this project is that because this is not a very small project. This is a big one. We need around 1,000 tasks completed. So the company's requirement for these tasks is that every task should be done by new voice, all right? Which even we know which is not possible. We won't be able to find 500 people with that much perfect accent in the given amount of time. If there was no time limit, then yes, we can even find 3,000 Native Americans to work on this project. But since the timelines are short, we are focusing on our uh, people from our own country to participate in this project and do. Now, here comes a question which nobody has still asked, that how frequently are you going to be doing this task? Okay, so let me just give you a clear idea that this isn't a task for daily basis. You're not going to be recording on daily basis. You just do one task of 90 minutes and then you wait, right? As soon as we get the chance to repeat, you guys, what we're going to do is we're going to shuffle your partners and then we're going to ask you to do another task. So the repetition doesn't get caught on the company's end, because that at the end creates very, very big problems for us. So this is how it's going to be. Maybe you may get the task right next week. Maybe you get the task and the next task after 2 weeks. So this will be a very easy project in terms so that you don't have to stay too much bound. But for the time being on which you are approved and your pairs are made and you have to do a task, make sure that you do it as soon as possible, because this is a complete duration of 1.5 hours. And even if you add up the time for planning and deciding your topics, it still doesn't exceed 3 hours. All right. So taking 3 hours out on a single day is not a very big problem. All right. So make sure that when you guys get approved and when your pairs are made, you're very active in all of the groups, because so far in this group, uh, we haven't seen much activity from the participants. Only it's the team manager posting a lot of things over here and even me posting things over here. So be sure, because basically these groups are the only medium of communication between you and us. We're not physically present in front of each other. We're not sitting, you guys are not sitting at our office. So it creates difficulties managing the project when people are not responsive. So make sure you guys are responsive over here. Talk with each other, talk with your manager, post your queries, ask your confusions, inform them of your progresses and everything. So this is how it goes. So let me just give you guys an example of our current project on which your team manager is already working with us. So there are around 102 participants already present in this group. And you can see all of these guys asking questions, helping each other out, um, pointing out mistakes. And this really helps a lot in correcting a lot of errors that people are doing on the work. When they see somebody is making a mistake and that mistake has been pointed out, there's a chance that more people are repeating that same mistake. So when they see messages being posted and when they read those messages carefully, they find out that, okay, I also made that mistake. So it's better that I also ignore it and I don't repeat that mistake again. So make sure that you guys are active in your groups and you guys are actively communicating with your team managers. So guys, this is pretty much it from my side. If you still have any questions that you would like to ask, feel free to ask in the group or feel free to ask from your team managers. If you still have any confusions, you can always come directly to me and I will help you out to the best I can. So thank you so much, everyone. Hope this session was helpful in explaining a lot of things to you all and wish you all best of luck. Do we need some a special equipment for noise cancellation? No, you're going to use only your phone's microphone. You're not supposed to use any hand-frees or any external mics, because when these audios get checked, it gives them, even if you have a normal hand-free plugged in to your phone, the server side, it shows an error of consistent noise cancellation and the recording gets rejected. So you have to use only your only your cell phone's microphone. So show us Android settings. All right, I'll show you those settings as well, and I'll share that document with you all also, so you can get the idea. All right, so this first part is settings for the iPhone app, which is awesome voice recorder. And then we have this second part where for Android, all right, your file format is going to be WAV, sample rate 16,000 hertz, audio format 16-bit, channel mono. And this is the app which you're going to use. All right, so these are all the screenshots mentioned here with a little bit of explanation on how you're going to use the app and what steps you need to follow. Are we supposed to pause the recording when the speaker 2 is speaking, or recording shall go on with silence? Recording will go on with the silent part. You don't need to pause your recording. I will share you guys two sample recordings. Basically, those two sample recordings are based on a single topic and two speakers are speaking. Basically, that is my sample task, which we sent to the company. So I'll share you. You can listen to both and you'll get the idea how your recordings are going to be made. All right, you're welcome. So guys, again, thank you very much for coming. And Shanze Sakib raising her hand. Yes, if you have a question.
No, I forgot to let it down. Sorry.
No problem. It's totally fine. So thank you so much, guys. Wish you all a very good afternoon. And we will be expecting very good samples from you all very soon. All right. Have a very nice day. Thank you.